Bilang mga Pilipino, ano nga ba ang kailangan nating ayusin sa ating bansa? Our group wants to focus on two issues with the current party-list system: the rise of political violence and the lack of representation for marginalized sectors.
These two issues are our main focus since they both affect how Filipinos engage with the government and other issues in the country. At higit pa dito, binabalewala ng mga issue na ito ang mga taong nangangailangan ng pinuno na makakatulong sa pagbababuti ng kanilang pamumuhay.
Ang political violence ay isang problema na matagal nang hinaharap ng ating bansa. Kadalasan ng mga journalists at activists ang target ng political violence dito at ito ay lumalala tuwing halalan. One example of political violence is the 2004 elections where, according to the Center for Public Impact, 300 deaths occurred and the Philippines Commission on Elections was rife with corruption. Another example would be from March 7, 2021, also known as Bloody Sunday, where 9 activists were killed and 6 were arrested in Calabarzon.
The other issue is lack of participation from the different marginalized sectors of the country. Kasama sa mga marginalized sector ay mga manggagawang uri ng ating bansa, tulad ng mga fisherfolk, mga magsasaka, mga jeepney driver at iba pa. Members of these sectors are usually used as props for politicians to exploit for their campaign ads.
Some may say, why do we need to fix these issues? Well, these issues need to be addressed since it affects the majority of the Filipinos. Political violence has never been more widespread in the country, lalo na ngayon na may mga batas tulad ng Anti-Terror Act of 2020 at ang mga high-ranking military officials ay nakakapag-red tag ng mga public figures dahil lamang sa mga paniniwala nila.
Although we have laws that protect our right to speak out against the government, such as Article 3, Section 18 of the Constitution, activists are still hesitant to voice their concerns since government agencies such as the NTF-LCAC still target them. An example of this would be from April 2021, when the NTF-LCAC admitted to conducting background checks on community organizers and leftist groups that had community pantries.
Ang kakulangan ng partisipasyon mula sa marginalized groups na bansa ay nangangahulugan na maraming mga Pilipino ay wala pang maayos na representasyon sa gobyerno. This also means that the majority of Filipinos simply don't trust public officials to listen to their needs and answer their calls for help.
We first proposed that the government should impose measures that safeguard political expression due to the worrying trend of red tagging and political violence in recent years. In line with this, we agree that the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-ELCAC, should be abolished. The NTF-ELCAC has been using its resources to disenfranchise and demonetize citizens based on their political beliefs. As a result, we suggest that the funds used for the NTF-ELCAC must be redirected to social welfare programs and the improvement of the facilities and manpower used during the elections.
Bukod dito, nais rin namin pagsamahin ang mga taong marginalized. Since, alam nyo naman, ang electoral parties ay may mga advocacies naman, ngunit ang mga ito ay hindi kinakatawa na maayos. Experts from Tihangti to Valejos agree that Philippine elections have consistently failed to include marginalized sectors in the elite-dominated space of elections. This sectoral-focused reworking of the party list opposes the current plurality-focused system, which Rodan highlights has leniently allowed landed elites, business owner millionaires, and bogus party lists to be in power.
We want these marginalized and under-repressed sectors to be given the exposure they need, not just the exposure we want to be able to directly and personally provide for these people. To have a plurality-focused system discourages equality and solutions to be made for those experiencing difficulty.
Pero paano nga ba ito makakatulong? If we abolish NTF-LCAC, we can start to fund other sectors as well. Pwede natin gamitin ang pera sa pagpapabuti ng facilities na ginagamit tuwing halalan. Mapupunta din ang pera sa mga ibang sektor, kagaya ng mga social welfare programs at iba pa. The purpose of this is to allow a more empowered environment for Filipino citizens, one that is safe and protected.
Pero baka iniisip nyo, yun lang ba? Siyempre hindi. The main purpose naman of this policy is to be able to incite citizen engagement as well as giving priority to the neglected and ignored. Gusto lang naman natin ang fairness at equality para sa ating mamamayan.
Makakatulong ito sa safety natin, kagaya ng pagtanggal ng red tagging at maibibigay rin natin ang spotlight sa mga taong nangangailangan.
As a democracy, we have the right to freedom and safety. We deserve to be heard. In turn, we want this policy to be granted for transparency and improvement of the country. We must allow those who need to be heard the mic and be able to support them and provide them with what they need.
Importante ang ating karapatan. Bilang tao, kailangan nating suportan ng isa't isa at ipaglaban ang ating pagkakapuntay-puntay.